7:30. This is Inland Wetlands Agency of the Town of Woodbridge. It's a regular meeting, May 15th, no it isn't, June, what is it? 19th, 2024. First time on the agenda is something I'm recused on, so I'll turn it over to Jack. So, and I won't need to vote.
Is somebody here representing?
Bill's there on behalf
Okay, if you'd sign in. Tell us what's going on here.
I was hired to make a pond for 39 Ribbon Road, and what we were planning on doing is insulating, you know, if it gets approved. Is we come out and install the silt fence.
Bill, why don't you sit down so he can hear you? There you go.
That's better. On 39 Rimmon Road, they
49.
wanted to do a decorative pond, 49 Rimmon Road, and a 40 by 60 pond. And basically how we would do it, we'd come out, install a silt fence and hay, 20 foot around the perimeter. And basically, we'd have to watch the weather that it's dry. With a 25-ton machine, in 2 days, you could have that dug out, shaped, and then put quick cover seed on the slopes immediately with hay, and then it would be established. You'd start to get growth within 2 to 3 days with quick cover hay. And basically, it has, there were standpipes installed in the bottom of it. The water table comes up in the wet time of the year, so there's really no runoff into it. It's more in a low-lying area on the property.
So it's natural drainage into it?
Yes, from his property slopes to it, and then it will hold it, the water in place. And then on the low side of it by Johnson Road, there's culverts there. So I was gonna do a riprap spill off if we get these 4-inch rains and so forth, that it will run down to the culvert in riprap material. But I think it should hold all its water that will come into that from a rain.
It looks to me like I presume this is the pond that's here, I don't know if you, and it's, the nearest wetlands seem to be quite a ways away. And I don't know. Yeah. From my measurement, it's close to or a little over 100 feet.
I think there's some wetlands on the opposite side of Johnson.
Yeah, maybe 80 feet from the edge of the water. Wetland flag 10. That's the road, I think. What you see in blue, I think, is the road, Johnson Road.
No,
That can't be a road, it's not straight.
Why is it labeled Johnson Road then?
well, Johnson
On the
Road goes
topographical map.
underneath where the wetland soils are.
Ah, okay.
That's the wetland soil delineation from the town GIS mapping.
The blue?
The blue, yep.
Okay,
So
interesting.
they own on the opposite side of the road too.
Okay.
And that particular portion of the opposite side of the road is wetland.
So you said that there's a culvert or a drainage on Johnson Road? that
Yes.
Drain
It-
into?
If you look in line with the pond, there's a culvert going across the street under the road. And if you look on Johnson Road, the road's higher than, it's like a depression there, naturally to hold the water in the heavy rains, and then when it builds up, it goes across the street.
If you look on the map before it that doesn't have the wetland delineation on it, you can see the cross pipe for the
Right,
culvert.
yeah.
But there's a stone wall too between where the pond would be and where the culvert is. So.
There's, I'm sorry, a stone?
There's a stone wall that's shown on the plan.
Oh, I see it. Oh my God, my eyes are just barely able to detect it. Okay.
It's
So
shown, it's also shown on the big
work would not
plan
immediately impact the actual wetlands because the work is all done on the,
in an upland.
in an
Yeah.
upland area.
okay.
Is the material gonna be hauled off-site?
No, we basically laid it out that everything that's dug out will be burned off, no material to be brought in or removed.
So it'll be the berm around.
That's
the
correct.
pond.
Item number 5 on the project description.
So, I'm sorry. The pond level would be here, there'd be a berm and then the lawn,
Yes.
and what would that berm be covered? I mean,
It will be, you know, seeded off, and then, I don't know if the owner's gonna wanna do some kind of plantings on it for aesthetic, but the slopes will have less than 2 to 1%, so, you know, they'll be able to be mowed if they need be. It's
Okay.
more of aesthetic, what they're gonna like.
Okay,
So really, the digging down isn't gonna be very much, because the total depth is considering from what goes down and then making the berm around it.
I think you said 12 feet on the.
Yeah,
on
so the
application.
total from the berm up is gonna be about 12 feet, and it isn't that much material getting moved.
So how far down are you digging?
Like 8 foot,
Say that one more time?
roughly about 8 foot down, and then taking and berming it up. And then make the slopes nice, like if a deer or a small child goes in there, they can walk out safely. Be like, you know, like a bowl effect on it. And the material there is pretty hard, so it'll be very neat to make it and seed it. Won't be like when you clean out the pond, you have all that slop material, you gotta let it dry and so forth, that kind of runs.
Anybody have any other issues, comments?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes?
Mr. Krieger, how will this pond be filled initially?
From the natural springs there. They put a standpipe in and monitored for a year. So the water comes up, so it will fill itself.
So you're not going to introduce any water?
Not
just
at
going to, however it occurs naturally from the ground, from the water table?
That's correct.
proposed ponds.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I think, I think it'd be positive development at the property. I think I think there's some wetland value in the project.
Itself? Yep.
I like the staked hay bales as a sedimentation and erosion control measure. Seems like you folks have done your homework on the project. It's reflected in the plans. So, is there any? So there won't be any need for maintenance of
No.
the pond whatsoever.
None at all.
Is the idea that the pond would alter the surrounding lawn around it? Is it a wet area, and that's why it's sort of just, to change it
It's
from just a
kinda
lawn to a
it's-
pond?
It
is-
slopes down, and it's more aesthetic,
Okay,
for it to have.
I'm into aesthetics, I like
Yeah.
my garden, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to picture it, if it has a berm, you won't even see the water. Right?
Because there's a, what do you call it, a trellis that you sit out is next to it.
gazebo.
That gazebo.
And I think it's right where they,
I didn't
we
notice
walked
that.
it, we
Okay.
staked it out so that they could sit in there, you look, it'd be pretty, the kids could sit there and
They
enjoy
put a few
it.
swans there and they'd be all set.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is outside the review area, or you need it so we can act on it? Or,
You
It's in the-
can't act on it tonight because you've only received it. You have to wait 14
We still
days
have-
before you can act.
okay. So,
But it's in an upland review
Yeah.
area, so if you wanted to, you could defer it to me. Your choice.
anybody,
Um,
that works for me.
what volume of soil will be moved? I mean, I don't have a good math of mind for this, but
Under 800 yards.
what it normally comes out when you dig, say, a cellar? Much more.
1,000 yards.
Okay, so it's,
Because it's not that big, it's 60 by 40, but that's,
and then all that
Total,
soil,
that's
all that soil can be used in this berm area.
that's
Yeah,
correct.
it's 60
Okay.
by 40,
And
but
then-
it's not gonna go this way.
Right. So, I mean, the 60 and 40 is like the outer of the berm. So
Okay.
the disturbance isn't, double the size of the, 60 or 40 is gonna be the pond.
And it'll just be a dirt, there's not gonna be liner or,
No.
so whatever will grow, will grow. Whatever water plants find its way there.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's a very intriguing idea. Be lots of frogs.
Just want to make an academic point, so Gina, you were onto something. I thought you were going to go in another direction
Oh,
with your
well.
question. And that is, sometimes when you create a wetland area, and it's expected to fill up naturally from the water table, that could have a detrimental effect on a neighboring wetland system, because it could actually deprive that system of that water that's now going to be intercepted, let's say, under certain conditions. That's
yeah.
not going to happen here, however, because the pond is actually above the grade of the wetlands. So I'm not concerned that there's going to be a drain off, as it would be referred to, of the natural
Oh, I
wetland
see.
area.
The water won't come from the wetland.
Indeed, and that could drain or dry what's called the first natural resource. So, again, yeah, I have no problem with this. I think the plan is well conceived. I wish the applicant good luck in the enjoyment of it.
Okay.
So,
The well for the house and the septic for the house are not in this area?
No, plenty of separating distances. The septic's on the other side of the house.
I would imagine, yeah.
so there's no problem delegating this to you?
Nope.
So can we, any other issues? Otherwise, a motion to delegate?
Just to define the limits of the delegation, just so that any change of the plan as we see it depicted on this would be come back to the commission for action. Thank you. I think that's probably going to be my recommendation going forward on this, what appears to be a common practice at the commission. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
All those
Chairman.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Four ayes? No.
I'm sorry, who moved, who seconded?
Oh, we need a
I'll-
second.
Oh, I'll second.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Four,
Votes in
Four.
favor, unanimous in favor.
no against.
Thank you. Have a
Okay.
good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to get,
I'll shout.
yeah,
We're lost.
resting place for some peace over
Okay.
swans?
And then you'll have a great blue heron eating all the quick.
Yeah,
Perform Swan Lake.
I would love it. I would love to have a pond in my yard.
All right, moving right along. Next time on the agenda, Town of Woodbridge, the Meeting House Road, Meeting House Lane sidewalk project. Chris, we weren't waiting for anything else from anybody on this, were we?
No, you weren't, and I did check with Public Works, and the phone pole that's there that Jack had mentioned was something that was left over from when they replaced a pole in the area, so they can remove it, and if need be, they'll put in some guardrails, but
Mhm.
that's why it's there.
That's why it's there. It was just left there. All right, does anybody else have any questions or concerns about that, or do we have enough information to act on the application at this point? Think so? All right, do we have a motion to approve the, Gene is seated, of course, for Josh.
I forgot that.
No,
Yeah.
it's non-pro-tunc, so, yeah. Do we have a motion to approve the application with usual stipulations?
Oh, but go ahead.
Go, after you, Jack.
Well, I'll make the motion.
Jack moved, Stephen seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstentions, okay. That's approved. Moving on next to Mr. Quill's Eagle Scout project application for the drainage along the trail system in Alice Newton Park. Chris, do you have enough information on that to sort of help him through it, right? And,
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go meet him at the site when he's gonna do the work,
yeah,
because it's very close by.
yes, it is, yeah, and on a nice day. And
On a
nice
nice
walk.
day, yeah.
Take your peanut butter jelly sandwich and give it a look-see.
Right,
Did we need a motion to waive the fees on this, or
You
was
could-
that
yeah.
okay, all right.
Or did we do that?
I don't think we did that, right? So,
I think it's in the minutes that we did.
oh, we did? Oh, we did? Well, let me see.
I don't remember us maybe ever waived it.
Oh, the agency can waive the application fees. Okay, so I think we have to do it.
Okay, so do we have a motion to waive the application fee for?
So moved.
Oh, Jean moved. Do we have a second? Jack seconded. Oh, we beat you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, then with respect to the substance of the application, I think, I think Chris needs to sort of monitor it sort of closely because it's kind of a loose project description. But it, you know, subject to Chris's
Yeah.
monitoring and approval and that. I mean, is it something we should delegate to you, or can we not delegate it because it's in wetlands, or?
You can't delegate it because it's in the wetlands,
Okay.
so.
All right, then we'll just, so I guess a motion to approve the application subject to Chris's discretion as to timing, as to construction activities, as to construction materials, et cetera.
And I assume that the gentleman who is the trail master will probably keep an eye on things as well.
Yeah.
Case?
The conservation,
That's sort of,
trust,
He's the-
Woodbridge Trust.
Yeah,
Nathaniel Case, yeah, Park Association Trail Master. And clearly, he's someone to
Yeah,
take advantage of, because I'm sure he's got an eagle eye for protecting Alice Newton Park.
right. And the Park Association's liability there.
Yeah,
So,
right.
is that enough of a framing
Yeah,
of?
that's fine.
Of a motion, okay. Subject, do we have somebody to move that motion? Who wants to make the motion to approve the application with those terms?
So moved.
Stephen, did we have a second?
I'll second it.
Jack seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's all set. All right, next time on the agenda, request from Mr. Gordon at 24 Center Road to release remaining bond for the site. What do you think, Chris? It looks like
I
it's
went
fairly
out
well.
to it and it's doing
It's
fine.
stable, yeah.
Yeah, it's not weeds, it's clover and grass, so
Mhm.
it's
It's good,
good.
okay. Does Public Works have to approve that too, or is this just the
No,
IWA bond?
No, it's just us on that one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
on a state highway, so
Okay.
they're not even involved with it.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, and then subject, because of Chris's recommendation and inspection, we have a motion to release the bond that we're holding.
So make the
Okay,
motion.
David moved, Jack seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, okay. Enforcement officer report, anything
No,
going on?
I've been out to the sites that you approved before for 57 North Pease and 911 Baldwin, so they had the erosion controls in place.
Mhm.
They were installed properly and whatnot, so.
All right, nothing else, no other problems going
No,
on?
I've been by 106. He still hasn't gotten his new pole in, but there's stuff starting to grow where he hasn't planted.
Yeah,
And the pond is virtually dry at this stage of the game,
Mhm.
so,
okay. So nothing to worry about right now then?
not at the moment.
Okay. All right, moving on to minutes. Jean?
Yeah. Well, besides little typos, I have just a question. And I should have looked this up. In some places, the Newton Road project is referred to a stream where the water will flow into when it rains. And one time it's referred to as a brook. So I like consistency, and I don't know if there's a definition difference between the two. So that was one of my comments.
So pick one or the other.
It looks like
Well,
more
it's mostly
stream.
stream.
Okay.
Yeah, unnamed brook, stream, yeah.
And I stopped, I just hopped out of my car when I passed by there tonight, and it still has water running, so it's an active, it's not
It
intermittent.
runs all year.
Yeah,
Because it, the wetlands that go up Burnt Swamp, the swamp above Burnt Swamp, comes down and feeds through that
oh,
stream as well as the two pond. No,
Wow.
I'm sorry, that one comes through up higher. There's wetlands on the school property, and then strangely enough, the wetlands, the pond that's over on Center feeds north through the wetlands that are on the other side of Newton at this end, through the pond that's on the school property, and then into that.
the
It's
mysteries
strange.
of water.
I always think of the Nile flowing north, and we've got so many,
How does that happen?
I have no idea.
Okay,
But it does flow pretty much all year.
any other things?
Just typos.
Oh, okay, so
Once you
just
get
give
the
that,
feet on page 3.
Feet on page 3, and Newton Park wasn't Newton, it was just New, Alice New, and
There you got feet.
change of tense for a has to a have, removing a word that is redundant.
okay,
That's
so,
all.
subject to Jean giving Chris her edits, of the minutes. Are the minutes acceptable to everyone? Do you have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Jack moved,
With-
with the correction.
with-
Stephen seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Okay,
Okay.
we're done with that. Anything else we need to talk about, Chris?
Nope.
No?
Wow.
Wow.
I just remind publicly, as long as this is online, that people should hopefully take the survey for the POCD. We're
Oh.
looking for as many survey responses as we can. So,
Good. You've publicized it again.
I have publicized it.
And give me a reminder later, too, in case I forget, so.
So there's a QR code, and then there's also a link, and for people that don't like to use their computers, I've got hard copies too.
Okay. All right, so with nothing else to talk about, do we have a motion to adjourn at 7:53 PM?
So moved?
Stephen moved, we have a second? Jack
Second.
seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, we're done, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know,
So-
you mentioned bird.